This hour of Boomer and Carton is brought to you by the Hebrew Home at Riverdale. Carefree senior living overlooking the Hudson River. Call 1-800-56-SENIOR.
We are live from Florham Park, and that's being made possible by Adorama, 42 S 18th in New York City. Online at Adorama.com. Adorama, more than a camera store. Joining us now is mini Rex Ryan. I'm not sure where old Rex Ryan went, but the head coach of the New York Jets, and handsome, you look good.
Yeah, no question. Feel great.
You must feel great. How much weight did you lose?
105 pounds.
And you more to go, or you're good with where you're at?
Hopefully I can drop a couple more, but I don't, I'm not a guy that's going to look very good if I get down to 220, like 220 pounds. I probably need to be a little
I would stop right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's amazing. It really is amazing. You look great. You look fantastic. You look great on the sideline, too. I mean,
you think you've lost your football acumen with the weight as well? Or are you still the Rex Ryan that Jet fans have come to know and love?
Well, so far, we're 0-2 so in the preseason, so it doesn't look real good.
But the one thing is, what does look good is your defense. Mm-hmm. And before we get to the Tim Tebow and all that other stuff, let's talk about the addition of your two safeties, Bell and Landry. Now, Landry's a guy who everybody knows has tremendous talent,
right?
But plays the game at such a fierce level and has total disregard for his body that he's an injury waiting to happen. And you guys have taken a flyer on this guy now, and he has become really an important part of what you're doing.
Right, that's true. And, when you look at it, how we could improve our football team and things like that, especially on the defensive side of the ball, we felt we needed to add some speed, and we needed to obviously, bring in some starting type safeties.
Right.
And it just so happened that we bring in Landry, and you're right, there was some risk there because he had some injury history, with the Achilles injury 2 years in a row. But we really believe in our training staff here. We've actually, over a 10-year period, had the fewest players on injured reserve in the league. And I think that's, attributed a lot to the health of our players, how we take care of our players and things. And we thought it was worth it when we brought him in for a physical. Obviously, when you watch this guy on tape, he's a Pro Bowl player. He's a beast. Right. There's no question. And the thing that's amazing, this guy ran a 4.3 something when he came out. I mean, he can really run. And he plays with that kind of, passion and fire that you want. I actually coached his brother in Baltimore. So I was familiar with the with the Landrys and things, but getting LeRon here I think is a huge help. And then we were able to get Jeremiah Bell, who I think is one of the most underrated players in this league, and he can do it all. I know he was a box safety, as everybody says, in Miami, but clearly he had the skill set to do more than that. And then you combine those two with Eric Smith, and I think that's a great combination for us.
We're talking to Rex Ryan, head coach of the Jets, and like Boom said, we'll get to the offense. And I know you stopped short of calling the defense special. It's a big article here. Yeah. And I know you're trying to tone all Rex Ryan down after last season. But that being said, you guys should be impossible to throw the ball against, considering Revis obviously on one side. We all know about Cromartie. And no disrespect to Jim Leonard, who had a very good Jet career. You guys should be impossible to go deep against for sure.
I don't know about impossible or something like that, but clearly, we want a team to have to go the long road on us, and with those two corners, I mean that really helps our team. Obviously, I think our corners are the best in the league. That combination of Revis and Cromartie, and I think Kyle Wilson's really coming on as well. So that group we feel great about, and I think our pass rush will probably be the biggest improvement that we've made on the team. And I think Carl Dunbar, defensive line coach that we brought in, from Minnesota, who's got a great reputation of his units always rush the passer well and things. I think he's been a huge help for us.
When we're talking about Rex Ryan, how about Bart Scott, where he is right now? Last year did not have a great year.
No.
He had guaranteed money, and you just admit he didn't have a great year, and I'm sure you spoke to him this offseason. Do you see a different, more, I guess, motivated Bart Scott right now as opposed to what we saw at the end of last year?
I think Bart was exactly how we were as a football team. It wasn't the best Bart Scott that we've had. I think, having that CBA and all that, I think when he approached it, he wanted to get bigger, stronger and all that, which he was, but this is a pass league, first. So I think it was now he realized that he cut his weight down. I mean, he's still a big man, but he cut his weight down. He's running better. And I think that was a big emphasis for him, and even for our entire defense. Mike Pettin and I, we talked about it. We need to get faster. Well, you get faster in a couple different ways. Obviously, conditioning is one way. You kind of bring in speed. And then the other way is your communication of things, and I think we've done all that.
Rex Ryan's here. All right, defense is going to be very, very good. You even
No
said
doubt.
top 5, and maybe special is the right word. But
Always is right, and you're confident about that.
Right.
You should
No
be.
and it should be. No one disputes the fact that the defense is going to have to carry this team a lot this season because the defense is better than the offense. I'm trying to figure out, and I'm an admitted Jet fan here, why you and Mike Tannenbaum didn't address what we as Jet fans feel were obvious needs offensively. The offensive line. We'll get into Wayne Hunter with you in a second. Depth at running back and wide receiver. Now, I know guys are hurt, but it seems like nobody took any time to address the offense. Why is that?
Well, that's what's so funny because I think the biggest misconception is that we're a team that, we just, put all of our resources in defense. Actually, last year, I think 57% of our money went to offense. So
Well, Mangold, DeBrickashaw, Sanchez, Holmes. Those four guys, right?
But you look at it. It's more than just that. But 57%. We actually had one of the cheapest defenses in the league. So if you look at it that way, from a resource standpoint, we put a lot of resources into our offense. I think we did add. We drafted Hill in the second round. I think he's going to be a tremendous player, guys. By the time halfway through the season, this guy's going to start learning and really take off. I think he's got, all the abilities to be a great one. And really, the funny thing is, I give a ton of credit to Mike Tannenbaum on this one because I was like, we're going to take a receiver in the second round. We're trying to trade up desperately to get him. The young man did run a sub 4.3 40 at the combine, fastest guy in the draft. So that was encouraging. But I was like, he's from Georgia Tech. We talk about our ground and pound.
Right.
These guys they
They'll
never throw the ball.
That's right.
So but we went out, we worked him out like crazy, and we felt that he was ready to come in. But he's far and away ready to play right now than what I assumed he would be. So I think that's going to be a big help. As soon as you put Holmes on the other side of him, that's going to really start opening things up. Santonio, as much as he's criticized, this is a great receiver. He is a tremendous receiver. I've had to go against him several times.
No one disputes that at all.
No,
His
exactly.
issue's been
He's just
personality.
he's just not a captain, which you made him last year. I don't know why you did that.
None of them
that
are
one back.
captains. So how's that?
And I don't understand that either. I would figure that a team should have captains. It's always the way it's always been done, it seems to me. Have you ever been on a team that did not have any captains?
Yeah, well, shoot, we never had those C's or whatever. I don't remember that. You were and still are a hockey player, so that's why you put the C's on there. That's why I went with them.
Right.
And it just
But
never
the whole
worked
league went
out.
with them too, right?
Yeah,
but you had Ray Lewis down in Baltimore. He was unquestioned the captain. You didn't even have to ask anybody.
But you don't have to put a C on a guy's jersey to say, well, this guy's a captain or whatever. It was something I really, when I look back on, one of the big mistakes I made last year was that because, this guy's, is a captain, so his role is different than this guy. I don't see that. I think it's a natural thing that happens. Just let it happen and
See, I thought you gave it to him as a form of motivation. You gave him a big contract. He was, he's been in trouble before. He's had problems before, and I felt like you gave him the captaincy because you wanted to give him not only motivation but responsibility, and maybe that just didn't work out the way you thought it was going to.
The whole C thing is, it wasn't. I don't think it's fair to say, well, it's Santonio Holmes. That's why we're not having the captain thing. So it's not the facts. The truth of the matter is, I've never really believed in that before. I should have just, and there's a reason I never wanted to go to these captain things initially. And, when I look back on it, I think that's something that
well,
we
it's your
don't
decision.
need him.
You're the head coach.
Thank God you didn't put an A on someone's jersey and
I
really
was
make it a
thinking
hockey
about
team.
it.
Yeah,
Small
no.
52 A's on there or something.
Hey, did you protect Wayne Hunter the other night by not bringing him to practice? Listen, I've been public enemy number one in this newspaper as a Jet player. I know what it's like. I know it's not easy. That was an open practice to all your fans at MetLife Stadium. Was that something you did, or was that really truly personal reasons why he couldn't make it?
It was a personal thing. We had a conversation, and I was comfortable with him not being at practice.
Well, we supported it to protect him because 2,500 people would have been all over him, and maybe that wasn't the right setting. And I said this about Wayne Hunter, and whether he's your starting right tackle when the season starts or not, I know he's got guaranteed money, $2.5 million, whatever it is, so he'll most likely be on the team whether he starts or not. Jet fans can't forget that Wayne Hunter was the only guy that stood up to Santonio in that huddle against Miami. I don't want to go over that story again. And there's something about that as a fan I respect. He, not the best player on the team, but the only guy that bowed up back to Santonio. And to me, that means something as far as what kind of guy he is.
Well, I'll say this. Wayne Hunter, it's not by accident. The guy's played 10 years in this league. It's not like he's a one-hit wonder. He's played 10 years. He played some great football for us. When you looked at the first 2 years we were here, we had him basically. He was our sixth man. He would fit, wherever
everywhere,
we had
wherever you needed him, he showed up.
Even
and he
tight
played.
end. It was tight end, tackle, it was guard, it was wherever. The guy was really valuable. Now, did Wayne have a great year last year? No. But he wasn't the only one. There were a lot of guys that could have played better. That we were expecting better things from. We just never had. It just seemed like we were a little off, and I don't think we had a great year from top to bottom, and starting with myself. So I think that's something we want to clearly put behind us, and the fact Pierre-Paul had a big day against us and things. He's going to have a big day against a lot of people.
He was one-on-one as well. Who's stopping him one-on-one? Nobody in the league is right now. All right, we got to talk about the quarterback situation. You know where we're going. I
said you should cut Tim Tebow.
That's
You
right.
guys are not listening to me. I don't know. I wanted to make it very interesting around here. I thought it was a little flat over here.
I think what happens is, now with the way these guys, the kind of money all these guys are making, you're thinking, hey, replaced one lefty, bring another lefty in there.
Like
That's
that.
probably what it
I
was.
was jealous.
No, it really has nothing to do with that. What it has to do with is I see distraction. But, I get paid to give an opinion.
Right.
I don't run this team. I'm not the general manager. I'm certainly not the coach. I don't really have any friends on this team over here. But I sit here and I watch the distraction that it's not Tim's fault. It's everything that comes along with Tim. And he's a very popular player. Hell, you had ESPN out here creating a quarterback competition. And from the day that he was signed to today, you're going to sit here and tell me that your starting quarterback in your conventional offense is Mark Sanchez and that you believe in him. I get all that. I say cut him simply because wrong team, wrong time. I thought he should have been somewhere else. And I knew from being here that this thing is going to become a circus. And in some respects, I've been a part of that. But I do believe that it's been a distraction. And you have a 4-year quarterback who's got to deal with everything else, not only learning the new offense, not only dealing with wide receivers that are petulant, to say the least, but now in comes the distraction that is Tim.
Well, I'll say this. You hear those things about it's a distraction, he's going to be a distraction, all that kind of stuff. Is it true that we were basically the, ESPN's Hard Knocks version? Yeah, I think so. They were at every one of our practices, all that kind of stuff. That's true. But was it really a distraction for us? No. I don't think it's a distraction for Mark. Mark's just learning a system and playing quarterback, and that's it. I think the big thing that you notice out here is, the fans are always yelling Tebow. And what I tell the team is like, hey, just insert your name there. So it's, hey, Sean Green.
That sounds easy.
Sean Green.
Yeah, that
hey,
happens.
what's up? So that's why you'll see our guys doing this all the time. But that's it. Tim is a football player. He's a great teammate, and the guys really like being around him. He really is a heck of a football player.
But he's not a quarterback. He's not a legitimate 35 pass quarterback in this league. No one disputes the fact that he can play in the NFL. He's proven it. He's an NFL player. Boomer said that from jump. But what I just don't understand, you have a quarterback going into his 4th year who's won 4 road playoff games, first guy in the league to ever do that.
Right.
We all would like to think from a maturity standpoint and understanding the game, should be a breakout year for him. And distraction or not, we all felt, hey, you need a legitimate guy on the team to push Mark Sanchez. Because with all due respect, Brunell didn't do that. At his age, and it was never really a threat, Mark Brunell's going to quarterback. Why bring in a guy, bring him in to play football, but why not bring in a quarterback as opposed to a guy who's a punt protect